One of the things that is most unique about my customer service training is the engagement. I hear from people all of the time who are just amazed at the level of involvement, and they tell me they feel like the day just flew by or they had so much fun. And usually those comments are prefaced with, I didn't know what to expect, or I thought it would be a long day. And I'm not offended by those comments at all, because I'm well aware that the adult learner doesn't like the idea of training, not a full day training, not a half day training. They expect the day to drag on. They expect to be bored. They don't expect to learn a lot. And so when you surprise them with engagement, and you wake them up with engagement, they do have fun. And when they're having fun and they're relaxed, they are in the perfect position to learn. The way I am able to achieve such high engagement in my programs is I use an approach called CPR. CPR was created by a trainer by the name of Bob Pike, and I think the model is brilliant. I have used it for more than 20 years. CPR stands for content, practice, review. Now, for every major content idea I share in my training, I put it through the CPR model. And so here's how it works. I would take an idea. For example, in a workshop that I facilitated yesterday, I introduced the Aikido principle of don't push. Now, you can simply explain a principle like don't push. I could do that. But if I really want people to remember the principle, apply the principle, and have success with it, I'm much better off by putting this through CPR. So for the C in the don't push content area, I would introduce the idea of don't push with a story. And that's usually how I would introduce every major topic. I would tell a story that would introduce the idea or tell people how to use it. And so for Don't Push, I shared a scenario from back when I was 16 working at Kmart, and I witnessed a physical fight between a 17-year-old employee and a customer. So the story shocks the audience, it gets them laughing, they go on a journey with me, and the story teaches what happens when an employee allows the customer to push their buttons and when the employee then pushes back. And so they learn all of that without me telling them, but instead me illustrating with a story that is funny and that they're likely to remember. After I have successfully introduced the content with a story or an analogy example, then I move into P for practice. Practice might be a role play. Sometimes it's a case study with a small group of people. But I change that up every time so that it's not predictable, they don't get bored, but there's some opportunity for the representative or the employee to practice or discuss the skill that they have just learned through story, analogy, or example. And then we take that same content idea and we review. Now, you don't say to adults, let's review. Instead, I may say, I want you to go to one of the note pages in your workbook, and I want you to write down the idea from this discussion that's most important for you. Or I may have them in small groups, go around a group of 4 to 7 people, and every person share the most important idea that they are walking away with. And this changes up through every idea. And so CPR rotates throughout the entire training day for every major content idea. The end result of our CPR model is participants are fully engaged throughout the program. They're having fun, they learn, they retain what they learn, and most importantly, they go back and apply what they learn.